Hi,
Hi,
can you please introduce yourself?
I am Dr. Anmol Bhargav. I am a final year dermatology resident from India.
Okay. And where did you go to med school?
I went to MJ Medical College, Indore.
Did you take any gap year?
No, fortunately, I didn't have to take a gap year.
What was your NEET UG rank?
It was All India rank 846,
And state rank?
state rank was 3.
What was your NEET PG rank?
NEET PG rank was AIR 363,
And state rank?
state rank was 2.
Did you always want to be a doctor?
Yeah, pretty much because I grew up in a family of doctors, and that's why I was very sensitized to it as a profession, and I never imagined myself being anything else other than a doctor.
And did you always plan on taking dermatology?
No, I initially, like when I had just joined med school, I did not plan on taking dermatology, but later on during the internship, when I got acquainted with the branch, that's when I realized that dermatology is definitely the one for me.
And when did you realize you wanted to go in dermatology?
During my internship year, when I spent time in the dermatology department, when I was exploring branches with that kind of intentions, to choose which branch am I going to take. So I was exploring different branches, working sincerely and trying to put myself in the shoes of the residents who are currently working in those branches. And that's when I realized that dermatology has the kind of balance that I'm looking for in a branch.
Are there any stereotypes about your specialty?
Yeah, plenty of stereotypes are associated with dermatology. Like dermatology is all about acne and pimples and cosmetology, beauty, stuff like that. And also that there are no emergencies in dermatology. So plenty of stereotypes. Yeah.
And are the stereotypes true?
Are stereotypes ever true?
Any specialty that were absolutely not for you, and why?
Yeah, probably OBGYN. It's a very difficult specialty, I think. I really respect the people who pursue it, and my mom is a OBGYN, and I just think it would be very stressful if I were to pursue it, for me personally, because you're dealing with the life of a baby and a mother. So probably OBGYN is not for me.
How can a person know if the branch is for them or not?
By having awareness about what you want in a branch, the kind of life that you want, and also spending time and living the life of residents in those branches, talking to them, asking them about the pros and cons of a branch, and then so talking to them, asking them about the pros and cons of a branch, and then trying to put yourself in their shoes and see if it would work for you. Basically, it's different for different people. Different people are looking for different things in a specialty. So you have to understand clearly what you want and the kind of life you want, and whether that specialty would be able to give you that or not.
Why should someone not choose dermatology?
Maybe if someone is looking for that thrill and excitement that comes with a branch like surgery, or any surgical branch for that matter, maybe dermatology would, because there are no life and death situations in dermatology. There's very little stress, so if you are used to being stressed, then probably, and if you want to work long hours and come home late, probably then dermatology is not the one for you.
So are there zero life and death situations in dermatology?
No, actually not. That's not true, because there's a disease called pemphigus vulgaris, where it's an autoimmune disease in which your skin is getting detached from the underlying part of your epidermis is getting detached from the dermis, and in that, basically it's a phenomenon called skin failure, and such patients you have to handle them very carefully in intensive care units to protect them from various, their life is really at risk. They can get infections. When you don't have your skin functioning properly as an organ, you can have various electrolyte imbalances, fluid imbalances, infections, and all of that. You know how you take care of burn patients. It's pretty much like that. So that is one situation where you have to, which is sort of close to a life and death situations. Even in case of severe allergic reactions to drugs, etc. Those are also the kind of patients that are managed in the Department of Dermatology. So probably not no life and death situations, but not as immediate and intense as probably a surgical branch. So maybe for some people, dermatology can get monotonous if you are not, if you don't have an aptitude for it, maybe, probably.
So how long is the training period to become a dermat?
So after your 12th, 4 years of MBBS, 1 year of internship, and then you give the NEET PG, and then 3 years of your post-graduation, and then finally you're an MD dermatologist.
How many years are that?
That would be 5 plus 3 if you don't take a gap year, then 8 years.
Why do you think dermatology is so competitive?
Probably because more and more people are looking for branches that have an easy work-life balance as a doctor. Maybe that's why. Because dermatology is a branch that offers, according to me, I think it has a little bit of everything. It has the satisfaction that you need with the clinical branch. It also has scope for surgeries. It also has procedures, medicine, diagnosing dermatology, diagnosing skin disorders, and at the same time it allows you to have an easy work-life balance. So I think it's a great branch, and more people are realizing that, and probably that's why.
What, according to you, are the 3 qualities that a dermatologist must have?
So number 1 would be patience, because lots of skin disorders can be chronic. They can take time to respond, so it requires patience on the part of the doctor as well as the patient. Secondly, good counseling skills, because again the diseases can be really chronic. Patients are very, very distressed, so you need to be able to counsel them well, so that they can have faith in the treatment and wait for the results that are going to show up. And finally, empathy. It's a quality that all doctors should have, but especially in case of dermatologists, because the skin disorders are there on the surface, and patients are extremely distressed because of that. They have self-esteem issues and a lot of psychological problems. So you have to be able to deal with them with empathy. So probably those are the 3 things that are a must.
Okay. So what, according to you, is a healthy diet for your skin?
A healthy diet for skin would be eating lots of fresh fruits and vegetables of different colors. So eat a rainbow. It has all the essential nutrients that you need for a good skin if you have that regularly, a portion of fruits and vegetables. And also drink adequate amounts of water, hydrate well. So probably those are the 2 things that have an important role towards a good skin.
What does an average day in your life look like?
So I wake up, do my morning routine, go to the hospital, attend the OPD. After that I have lunch, then I have some academic activities at the department, be back by 4. There's actually a detailed video on my channel about an average day in my life. So if you want to know what an average day in the life of a dermatologist looks like, you can watch that.
How many patients do you see on average per day?
Around 30 to 40 patients, definitely, because I work at a tertiary care hospital, and the OPD gets pretty heavy. So I think per day around 30 to 40 patients.
Okay. And who would be your ideal patient?
My ideal patient would be a patient who listens to what I'm saying properly and follows those instructions with while having faith in the treatment, because like I said, some diseases take time to respond. So sincerely, my ideal patient would be the one who sincerely follows all the instructions that I've given them and does not question the process of healing the disease, the treatment. So yeah, I guess that would be the ideal patient.
Okay, so what is your advice to the teenagers having their first ever breakouts?
Firstly, don't touch them, don't pick on them, otherwise that will scar. Secondly, don't apply random things on them like saliva or toothpaste, stuff like that. Go to a dermatologist, try to take proper treatment for your acne, because they can be managed with the right treatment. A lot of people, I don't think they understand that the importance of timely consulting a dermatologist for your acne, which could prevent a lot of physical as well as psychological scars. And thirdly, remember that this is temporary and don't worry too much about it. With proper treatment, it's something that can be managed. So just remember that you will get through the treatment on the other side towards a clearer skin. So don't worry too much about it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how exhausted are you at the end of your work day?
Maybe 4. I don't feel that exhausted at the end of my work day. It ends at 4, and I usually sleep adequately as well, and also because I really enjoy what I'm doing, so probably that's why I don't feel that exhausted at the end of the work.
Okay, so what is the craziest case you have ever been a part of?
Craziest case I've ever been a part of. It's not that crazy, I think, but the craziest patient the craziest case that I can remember would be my first patient of pemphigus. The first patient of pemphigus that I ever saw and managed in my first year of residency. It was in fact my first day of residency, and we had a patient walk in, and you see a patient for the first time with 90% of their skin detached, 90% of their epidermis detached from their dermis, skin peeling off in different areas, and it can be pretty scary. And that was I think the craziest thing that I remember till now.
Tell me about your most memorable patient.
Most memorable patient till now. There are actually these moments that are really memorable, because of, I remember this one time I was on call. There was a consult from they called me for a consult to the pediatrics ward, and pediatrics ward is a very magical place. And I went there. There was this little girl, and she had some skin disorder, and I was just examining her. So I examined her, and then I asked her a few questions, and then I went to write my notes in her file, and she came from behind me and she gave me this little piece of paper, and she's like, don't open it, don't open it here, open it once you leave from here. And well, I did open it later, and it was a very sweet thank you note from her. So I think it was a really sweet gesture, and it was really memorable.
So did you faint at the dissection table?
First year of anatomy dissection table?
Yeah.
No.
What?
No, I didn't. There's always probably one person every year. That is for sure. But it wasn't me.
What is the craziest dermatology myth you have ever heard?
Craziest dermatology myth? I think there are many. But the stigma associated with certain skin disorders, I think that's crazy, especially in the world that we live in currently. There's so much awareness about everything, but still, I had a patient the other day who had vitiligo, which is a skin condition in which you have these white colored patches over your body, depigmented patches, and he was fired from a job because of it. So I mean, it's crazy because vitiligo is not something that spreads by close contact or something like that. It's a genetic condition, it's an autoimmune condition. So the the stigma associated with certain skin diseases, I think that's a crazy myth.
Okay, so what are the hobbies that you indulge in your free time?
I like to sing. I have a YouTube channel where I make covers. I like to dance. I like to watch movies. I like to read books. So these are a couple of things that I enjoy.
What are your top 3 favorite books?
My top 3 favorite books would be number 1, The Alchemist, number 2, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Stephen Covey.
And who are your top 3 most favorite music artists?
Amongst Hindi music, I think A.R. Rahman, Amit Trivedi, and KK.
Okay. How many hours a day do you study? Be honest.
Currently, I think I study for about 3 to 4 hours. That's what I aim for, at least regularly. So 3 to 4 hours a day, as of now. Yeah. Because I'm preparing for my MD exam. I'm not really in the zone right now, but I think probably when you're preparing for your MD exam, you study a lot more than 3 to 4 hours. So it's not a standard of how much you have to study in your residency. Maybe in the first year of your residency, you can pull about 1 to 2 hours per day. That's also fine. Then as years, in the second year maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then finally in the third year a little more. So close to exams, I think I'll probably increase it even more.
Increase it to
like 6 to 8 hours at least, because that's what is required towards the end of when the exams are approaching.
What is the most rewarding part of your field?
The most rewarding part would be, when a patient who has come to the OPD, who's come to you with a certain amount of distress, goes back feeling a lot more comforted after they've interacted with you, after they've consulted with you. The difference sometimes is really very apparent, and I really enjoy that part where someone goes back feeling a lot more comforted than they were when they came in. Yeah.
What was your funniest experience with a patient?
Funniest experience with a patient? Recently. So recently I had a patient come in, and she was an old lady. She came and sat in front of me, and she said, she told me her problems, and I gave her a prescription. I spoke with her, and it was a nice conversation that we had. And after that, just when she was about to leave, she bent over and she just, and we have patients who actually do that, they touch your feet before leaving, and I was like, oh my god, auntie, stop. And she just, she bent over and then she took out her slippers from under the table. And apparently, that's what she was doing. So it was very, very embarrassing for me. I think that has to be the funniest incident that has happened to me till now with a patient. Don't judge me because this really happened.
I am judging you. Are you ever grossed out by some of the stuff that you see?
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, you really have to have a strong stomach to be a dermatologist. There's a lot of pus that you will come across on a day-to-day basis, and lots of stuff. Yeah.
Does your family ever ask you for random medical advice?
All the time, be it related to dermatology or unrelated to dermatology, or just some random medical fact that they heard somewhere, all the time.
What would be the alternate specialty you would have chosen if not dermatology?
If not dermatology, then I would have chosen medicine because I found it really interesting. So that would be.
Medicine is hard. Have you ever doubted whether you would make it as a doctor?
No, because I was always well prepared for whatever I was aiming for. I was very clear in my mind that this is what I want, and I prepared accordingly. So I think, and I also always had a lot of support system. You know, my family, friends, everyone, everything. They gave me all the support that I needed. So yeah, I never doubted it really.
If you could change one thing about the medical field right now, what would it be?
One thing, the most important thing would be right now the growing incidences of violence against doctors. That would be the thing that I would want to change the most right now. And also, you know how, and also like sometimes I feel doctors are overburdened with the things with a lot of administrative stuff. So that is also something I would want to change so that they can focus entirely on patient care and not on other administrative things.
Right. What can a medical student do right now to prepare to go into your specialty?
Study for NEET PG and prepare as well as you can, because like you said, it's a competitive branch, and it's important that you get into a good college for dermatology. So yeah, the best thing that they can do right now, people who want to become dermatologists, would be to prepare well for NEET PG and get a good rank. Yeah.
What are the 3 most important things that helped you prepare for your PG exam?
3 most important things that helped me prepare for my PG exam. So first would be lack of any distractions and lack of a social life in my preparation period. Second would be my mom, because she really took care of me and everything else in that period. And thirdly would be my internal motivation that pushed me.
If you could go back, would you change any of your experience that got you to where you are right now?
No, because I really enjoyed the whole journey, not till now. Even the parts where that are supposed to be like the toughest ones, you know, is, for instance, like the preparation period of NEET UG and NEET PG. I fondly remember it. It was a very memorable journey. So no, I wouldn't change anything.
What is your favorite way to relax after a long day?
Probably get into my pajamas with a mug of hot chocolate and watch something I like, or read something I enjoy reading with also a little bit of music. Music really helps me relax. So, yeah.
What would you say to the aspiring dermatologist right now?
I would say, you know, study well, work hard, and don't just aim to become dermatologists. Aim to really make a difference in the lives of people. That's what you should aim for, and aim to really make a positive difference, and also be passionate about what you do. Love it, and all the very best.